matters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m., a group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler.
Are these the kind of witnesses that the DOJ is now staunchly vouching and spending for under its witness protection program?
Senator Jinggoy Estrada hits pork barrel scam witnesses Dennis Cunanan and Rupert Ambil. The Supreme Court upholds the validity of businessman Delphin Lee's arrest. And relatives of passengers lose patience as Malaysian Airlines fails to find its missing plane. Hello, I'm Carol Ramoran, sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Senator Jinggoy Estrada responds to witness accounts of his involvement in the pork barrel scam in a privileged speech Wednesday. He questions the credibility of provisional state witness Dennis Cunanan and Rupert Ambil and says their testimonies are all lies. Estrada questions the ownership of a house worth 40 million pesos allegedly belonging to Cunanan's brother. Estrada presents.
Hindi ba nakakapagtaka na hindi niya binabanggit ang kanyang malapalasyong tahanan sa White Plains, Quezon City? Ano po, nasa screen. Napakabait naman itong kapatid ni Dennis. Bumili ng mga mahaling bahay at lupa sa isang prestihiyosong subdivision para lamang ang tumira ay si Dennis. Sana meron din akong kapatid na kasing bait na kapatid ni Dennis. Ano kaya ang ginawa niya sa cash advance na ito? Idinagdag sa pambili ng bahay sa White Plains?
Estrada presents documents from the Bureau of Immigration's exposing Cunanan's jet-setting lifestyle.
Ginagawa pong kiyapo ni Cunanan at ng kanyang asawa, pati ang kanyang mga anak, ang Amerika. Ayan, pupunta siya sa Amerika. Europa at mga bansa sa Asia. Nagbiyahe po siya ng humigit kumulang na 80 beses. 80 times, Mr. President. Kahit sinong senador sa atin ay hindi makakapagbiyahe ng 80 beses sa loob ng 10 taon, Ginoong Pangulo. Hindi po ata sinusuportahan ni Dennis ang programang pangturismo ng ating gobyerno. Dahil sa dalas niyang nasa labas ng Pilipinas, isipin mo nga naman na para kay Dennis mukhang it's more fun outside the Philippines.
The senator also hits Cunanan for saying he reformed the Technology Resource Center when the agency still got pork barrel under his leadership. In a Senate testimony, Cunanan claimed he stopped the release of funds from his agency after discovering questionable NGOs obtained pork barrel through the TRC. But Estrada cites an audit report to debunk Cunanan's claim. The senator says the TRC got pork barrel funds from 2010 to 2012. Cunanan became Director General of the TRC in 2010. The senator then turns to Tuason, whose testimony provides a direct link to Estrada and Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. He questions the Justice Department's decision allowing Tuason to travel abroad, adding she has enough properties in the Philippines to liquidate the 40 million pesos she received as kickback.
Hindi naman po ata kailangan ni Mrs. Tuason pumunta sa abroad. Marami pa ba siyang mga ari-arian sa Amerika na ibebenta? O marami pa siyang ari-arian na gusto niyang itago sa pangalan ng kanyang mga anak? Meron siya isang bahay sa Henderson, Nevada, bahay sa Kawayan Cove sa Cavite, townhouse sa Alabang, at townhouse sa Valle Verde. Number 1510, Carissa Street, Dasmariñas Village, Makati City, na mas kilala sa tawag na Malampaya Mansion, would be more than enough to finance the measly 40 million pesos na sinabi niyang kanyang ibabalik.
Estrada raises his qualms on the special treatment accorded Cunanan and Tuason.
Are these the kind of witnesses that the DOJ is now staunchly vouching and spending for under its witness protection program? People who cannot even be honest about their real educational background? People who would not hesitate to drag the name of a dead brother just to conceal their own guilt? Has the DOJ deliberately omitted these facts and information from the Blue Ribbon Committee and the public just to support and build their case? Is this the handiwork of an undersecretary of the DOJ who, I am informed by unimpeachable sources, has repeatedly instructed the witnesses to focus only on this representation and Senators Juan Ponce Enrile and Ramon Bong Revilla Jr.? Pati ang ilang kasama natin dito sa Senado ay sinintensya na po kami.
Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Alan Peter Cayetano trade barbs, with Estrada accusing those implicating him in the pork barrel scam of politicking for 2016.
Tinira walang humpay, Mr. President. Kaya po ako nagsalita nung caucus natin dahil may mga ibang senador, kako, na gustong gamitin ang Blue Ribbon Committee hearing to further their political interest. Nag-grandstanding eh. Halos lahat, kung napapansin ninyo, wala nang ibang inatupag, kundi parang gusto na nila i-coach yung kanilang yung mga resource persons present noon. Banggitin nilang Estrada, Revilla, Enrile, na hindi na in aid of legislation to eh. In aid of 2016 na ito eh.
Estrada again hits what he calls the trial by publicity against him and the other senators accused in the scam. He also defends his decision to speak out on the allegations against him.
Pag ikaw naman nagpapa-interview sa media at binabanatan mo kapwa mo senador, natural lang, bilang isang colleague o bilang isang naakusahan o bilang isang pinatutukuyan sa iyong mga interview sa media, natural lang, nasasagot ako. Kailangan ko i-depensa na sarili ko. Ano ako, mananahimik na lang? Uupo na lang at magdadasal? Hindi naman ako ganun. If you want to choose your battle, I will give you your battle. Oh.
I agree. But I'm saying is that you did not stop there eh.
But Cayetano rebuts Estrada's statement, saying there seems to be a double standard when senators are involved.
Kung meron publicity na nangyayari because of the cases filed, because of the COA report, that is not trial by publicity. Why does the Vice President and Senator Estrada keep saying there's trial by publicity? So nung lumabas yung COA report na bilyong-bilyong pisong nawawala, hindi ba dapat sagutin natin? So may I know from the gentleman from San Juan, why he's accusing everyone, even the media, for trial by publicity, when in fact he is a public figure? These funds are funds allocated to his office. Do people not deserve an answer, Mr. President? Bakit tayo may double standard? Pag ibang tao ang hinahabol at tinitira natin, hindi natin sinasabing trial by publicity. Pero pag tayo na yung akusado, imbis na sumagot tayo sa media, Mr. President, imbis na buksan natin ang ating sarili, ang mangyayari, i-accuse pa natin lahat ng trial by publicity.
But Cayetano says the issue is not about the 2016 presidential polls, but about public money.
I don't intend to run and win in 2016 with this case, Mr. President. Sa plataforma at programa. This is not about Senator Jinggoy. This is not about Alan Cayetano. This is not about 2016. This is about the people's money. Yung buong institusyon po natin ay nadudurog. Ang pagtingin ng tao sa gobyerno nadudurog. Dahil ang tingin nila kung sinong dapat nagbabantay sa pera ng bayan, ang siyang pang nagbantay sa lakay. We gave Senators Jinggoy
Netizens are glued to the word war in the pork barrel saga. Many express anger at what they call Estrada's latest attempt to wash his hands off the multi-billion peso scam. Harriet Perea Velasco says, "Will his speech feed the hungry mouths and shelter the homeless? Sometimes I've mistaken the Senate for Star Cinema or Viva Films." Michelle Medina disapproves of Estrada's attacks on the whistleblowers' backgrounds, saying that speech is a chance to prove your innocence. What did you do? Attack other people. Jose Paulo Agudo argues Cunanan may be a weak witness, but adds both Jinggoy and Cunanan are messed up, both thieves and liars. Senator Miriam Santiago says a woman should be elected president in 2016. On Tuesday, Santiago says empowered female politicians can help the Philippines meet the UN Millennium Development Goal of gender equality. But when asked if she's eyeing the presidency in 2016, Santiago says she doesn't have the money to run. She adds, there are excessive estimates of 15 billion to 20 billion pesos for the 2016 elections. I was not a member of the pork barrel scam, so I don't have this amount. Santiago says she'd rather endorse her female colleagues at the Senate, Senators Cynthia Villar, Grace Poe, and Lauren Legarda. But Poe says she's not prepared for higher office. The 2013 senatorial frontrunner and political neophyte says, "I have so much more to prove. I have only passed one bill." Poe sponsored the Freedom of Information Bill, which the Senate passed on Monday after years of lobbying from transparency advocates. The Supreme Court rules the arrest of housing scam suspect Delphin Lee is valid. His lawyers earlier said Lee's arrest and detention was illegal because of a Court of Appeals ruling quashing the arrest warrant against him. But on Wednesday, the Supreme Court issues a temporary restraining order against the CA ruling. Lee is accused of using ghost borrowers to obtain 6.6 billion pesos in housing loans from the Pag-ibig Fund. In November 2013, the CA invalidated an arrest warrant on Lee issued by the Pampanga Regional Trial Court in relation to the housing scam, but the Justice Department opposed the CA order before the High Court. 5 days after Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 disappeared, Malaysians are losing patience as authorities fail to locate the plane. Conflicting reports over the plane's flight path sparks anger among the relatives of the 239 people on board the flight. In a commentary, news website Malaysian Insider says the whole world is watching Malaysia now because an aircraft with a wingspan of 61 meters does not fall off the sky or disappear into thin air just like that. A Malaysian Air Force official tells CNN the plane seemed to veer off its flight path en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing before it disappeared off the radar. But Malaysian authorities say there's no evidence the plane had flown back. Vietnam says it's scaling back its search for the missing Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 until Malaysia comes up with new information on where to search. Vietnam's Deputy Transport Minister Pham Quy Thieu says we've decided to temporarily suspend some search and rescue activities pending information from Malaysia. Malaysia expands its search from the missing plane into the Andaman Sea, hundreds of kilometers to the northwest of the original search radius. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 3, pro-Moscow lawmakers in Crimea vote for independence from Ukraine on Tuesday, ahead of a referendum this weekend for the region to become part of Russia. The local assembly approves a declaration of independence with 78 affirmative votes out of 81 lawmakers. The parliament's move, which the new government in Kiev declared illegal, may create a legal framework for joining Russia as a sovereign state. At number 7, U.S. President Barack Obama tries a new strategy in a struggle to sell his signature healthcare program, self-parody. Obama appears on the spoof online show Between Two Ferns, where host Zach Galifianakis grills celebrities with embarrassing questions. Galifianakis asks Obama about being a black president, his Kenyan roots, and sending, quote, Ambassador Dennis Rodman to North Korea. The president says the exercise is an attempt to reach a youthful audience. The healthcare law depends on young Americans to subsidize care for the sick and elderly. The administration is in full sales mode on the Obamacare, ahead of a sign-up deadline on March 31. And at number 10, Ugandan gay rights activists and politicians challenge a tough new anti-gay law in court. The new law sparked international outrage and prompted cuts in foreign aid. Last month, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni signed a bill which outlaws promotion of homosexuality and imposes a life jail term for, quote, repeat homosexuals. The bill's passage was a popular move in conservative Uganda, but petitioners say the law violates the right to privacy and dignity. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Many know August, Osage County as a Hollywood film, but critics say it's better seen on stage than on screen. The Filipino cast from Repertory Philippines add this play delivers all the angst of a telenovela, but none of the guilt. G. Tanji reports.
Meet the Westons, a dramatically dysfunctional family. Repertory Philippines' latest theatrical presentation is a Pulitzer Prize-winning drama by Tracy Letts called August, Osage County. Set in rural America in the middle of a hot August, the film adaptation released last year starring Meryl Streep and Julia Roberts, both Oscar-nominated performances. Chris Miliado directs for Repertory Philippines. He says August, Osage County, is very Pinoy in its melodrama. He says the comparison to the film adaptation can't be helped.
One thing that we should remember about the experience of watching theater is its liveness. There's nothing that could replace that kind of relationship with audiences. You'll have the closest thing to a slice of life.
Theater veteran Baby Barredo plays the matriarch of the Westons, Violet. After a 14-year hiatus in a lead role, she's back. She says Violet is perhaps the hardest role of her career because it's a straight play.
In a musical, you cannot really delve down because you break into song, but here you really delve. You have to go deep into yourself and look for that character, make that character come out.
Actress Pinky Amador returns to Repertory after 7 years. Amador says Filipinos will be able to relate to the discourse and dysfunction of the Westons.
I think August, Osage County is dubbed the telenovela from hell because it represents every symptomatic problem, a person or a character or a situation that we see in telenovelas today. It's in this play.
I'm sorry. Angeli Bayani, the film actress for the Camera d'Or winning film Iloilo, says she jumped at the opportunity to work with Repertory.
To be part of this play, in this company, at this stage, oh my God, it's really a dream come true, I swear. I'm not exaggerating.
A stellar cast makes up the ensemble of August, Osage County. It's a metaphor for the decay of American society. G. Tanji, Rappler, Manila.
Catch August, Osage County before it closes this weekend on March 16. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories with the most clicks. Today, we have 54% of people who read the story who felt annoyed after reading the story about Senator Jinggoy Estrada's privileged speech. 27% of the readers voted angry. Another story, this time about how the Chinese drove away Philippine ships from the Spratlys, had 93% of the people reading it feeling angry, while 3% voted happy and 1% voted amused. But the story that got the most clicks is how a cadet was forced to vote against fellow cadet Aldrin Jeff Kudia. 82% voted angry, while 7% voted sad. all contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people are angry. That's Rappler's newscast for today, Wednesday, March 12, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Carol Ramoran, and as we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.